Hi everybody, how are you? It's Sonal. I am in sunny Arizona, and I basically wanted to let everybody know that I am interviewing today Urmil Dalal. I'm just waiting for him to join. He is an amazing videographer that we work with. And I'm taking this time while I'm here in Arizona and trying to stay inside, actually in my backyard, to just introduce all of you to some of the vendors that we use. And I think that it's one thing when you read about them or follow them on Instagram, but it's definitely different when you could just hear their story and about being able to know their story and why they're doing what they're doing and what makes them successful. So I'm waiting for Urmil to join. I think that, let's see, one second, here we go. I think he's coming on right now, which I'm really excited for you to all meet him.
Hello.
Hi, Armelle.
Hi, it's so nice to see you.
It's so nice to see you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm
I'm,
feeling
I'm
good.
assuming you're at home.
I'm at home. I'm in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Um, how are you?
I'm good. I'm in Arizona. I'm in my backyard and it's about 90 degrees. It's already like in the 90s here. So I can't really complain. I know that there's a lot happening in the world, but I'm just I came out here like I don't know, a month ago, almost like
hmm
3 weeks ago, and I've just been here ever since. How are you?
Well,
How's your
I'm good.
family?
The family's good. Grandma's good. Mom and dad are really good. The whole family's together. My brother's also here, so
Oh,
we're all
good.
together and we're getting through it. A lot
I
of family
know.
time.
I know, I'm sure. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with me. I think I met you, I don't know, a couple of years ago through
hmm
our friend Radhika from 321 Chills. And I really was so impressed after I saw some of your videos. And so I was talking to Radhika and I was like, oh, who did this video? And then she told me about you. And then we met. And I guess, the rest is history. We've traveled to so many different places around
Yeah.
the globe, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. But yeah, tell me a little bit about how you got started. And obviously, I know your story and we've spent a
hmm
lot of time together getting to know each other. But I want everybody out there to be able to know, how did you get started? And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure, of course. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I really
Of
appreciate it.
course.
I met you back in, I think, 2017. I was a senior in high school at the time. But I got started in the wedding industry through my parents.
Okay.
I have a great set of parents. Mom and dad are really awesome. They started a wedding studio back into 1999. Um,
Okay.
they started a wedding studio back in 1999, and they continued it throughout. They still shoot. And when we were young, sometimes they didn't have a babysitter and they let us come to the events and we'd hang out and we'd see what's going on. I really loved being there. I loved the wedding energy. I loved being in that environment. So I observed. I loved looking at how they set up the lights. I loved holding the canisters of film for my mom. And just growing up in that environment, I was always attracted to it and I loved being around it. So when I grew up, got into middle school and high school, mom and dad started giving us more responsibilities. They let us shoot with a third camera, and they were really encouraging. So when it came through time through high school and we started becoming a little bit more independent and started getting our own clients, they were super encouraging about that. So yeah, I started through my parents, um, and maybe when I was like 16, 17, I started exploring film,
Mm-hmm.
like storytelling through short films and documentaries. And I did that with many of my friends from our current town. So we participated in film festivals and made documentaries about people around us that we really admired. And then yeah, from then it just kind of rocketed from there. Like I think if you just do good work, people will notice, and I never expected where it's
A
gotten
lot of
now.
this, yeah, a lot of this to
Yeah,
happen, right?
Exactly.
I think I'm always so impressed when I talk to you because you are so young. And you said that you kind of got started when you were in high school, especially when I met you. And when I think of like high school students trying to do something like this and follow in their parents' footsteps, it's
Mhm.
really hard. But I've always noticed that when I see the finished product and your edited videos, it's not just me, it's everybody, at SJS and a lot of other vendors that I talk to. They're just so impressed by your how professional you are. These videos, and I always, we always kid around. I always call you the next Martin Scorsese, right? And it it really takes a lot for me to be very impressed by vendors. And I just think that when I met you, I was like, this is insane that you could do work like this. Tell me a little bit, and this might be a difficult question, but for brides that are looking for videographers or cinematographers, like, what's the difference between what you do and what you think that they do, and what do you bring to the table for some of our brides? And we have a ton of brides that have booked you already, so can you
Mhm.
comment on that a little bit?
Yeah, of course. So, I consider myself a cinematographer. I'm not just about creating a great image. Like, I feel like doing that is the easiest part is okay, get a great ring shot. Like that's easy. I feel like the aspect of storytelling,
Hmm.
a wedding is a super important day, and I feel like I have a great combination of being young and also I have the experience of what it's like being in that situation. And a lot of it's problem solving when you come down to wedding day. Like you need to be able to solve problems really fast. I can't sit there and set up a shot for 15, 20 minutes. Like I need to move quick, efficiently, but I also need to ensure that I'm getting great coverage, great shots. So when it comes to the editing process, I can put a great story together for my bride and groom. My goal is to make them feel what I feel, at least from my perspective. When I'm surrounded in an intimate situation like that with a bride and groom, you feel so much love and energy between them. And I'm trying to translate that to them. So it's really
Yeah.
important for a bride to understand what the role of a cinematographer is at your wedding. So that's why it's super important to get to know your cinematographer, understand what they're bringing to the table. Are they just going to come there and shoot it, or are they going to come there, shoot it, and
And
then
tell a story. Yeah.
exactly tell a story? That's my particular goal. That's what I'm there for.
I've seen so many of your videos, and I'm on your Instagram all the time, and I'm so not surprised, but I love the way that you set up your shots. And I know that that takes like a lot of thinking on your part to imagine a drone shot or imagine how this is all going to get spliced and diced together. I mean, I don't live in your world like that. We set up really pretty things, and then we expect our photographers and our videographers to capture all of it. And sometimes, I feel like because you're so young, the energy and the movement of your videos is so, I've just never seen anything like that. And that really is why I kind of promote you to our clients, because I think they need to kind of see what exactly you're bringing to the table. And it is so quick and it's so fast. I think that some of your shots just, there's like 50, 60, 70 scenes in like a 4 minute video, or even sometimes like a 2 minute video. And I just find that so amazing because you have to go through this and still tell the story. And then I'm also really impressed because we work with so many cinematographers. You're really behind the scenes. Like, I'm always like, wait, where's Urmil? And you're like right there, but you're like, oh, I'm here. And I just don't notice that you're really there. And I feel like a lot of couples have told me, why is that really important to be there, but really not be there?
Yeah. So thank you. That means so much. What you just said means so much to me. Being unintrusive is super important.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to bride prep and then when it comes to the wedding day and when the ceremony is going on. So that is something I try to be there and I want to get the shot, but I don't want to be in your face. There's I love wide shots too. Like there's so much to see from far away, and then we have telephoto lenses to go in and to get that beautiful
Shot.
to to get that shot. And I feel like, especially at your weddings, there's so many different elements. Like you have the decor, you have the lighting, and you have the music, and all those different elements need to come together in your video. You
Yeah.
might see in photo, you can only see a certain different, but in video, there's multiple, you hear it, you see it, you can feel the movement,
Yeah.
right? So I feel like what my goal is to tie all those things together. I want it to sound good. I want the movement to be really smooth, and I want to enhance the decor that's there. The decor already looks beautiful, but you want to make it like it, you want to complement it.
Yeah.
Um, so that's my goal. I want to frame a certain way, like especially at the last few weddings we did at the Cipriani, like the decor is set, like your background, and then you have a beautiful altar from the mandap, and then you want that stuff to complement each other. And I feel like that's my goal when I'm trying to shoot. That's what I'm looking at. I can just shoot it with a wide, and like that's not what I'm going for. I want to all connect together, complement each other. Does that make sense?
Yeah. How much pre-planning do you do for some of these weddings? Like, I know you get our production schedule, you read over it, you're really on top
Mhm.
of like asking us questions. But let's say that you're working with a couple that doesn't have a planner, or you didn't get the timeline from a different planner. How does that work? How do you pre-plan some of your shots, or do you not really pre-plan anything and you just show up on the day of and kind of go with what's happening during that day?
I definitely have an idea of what I'm looking for.
Okay.
And throughout the timeline, like throughout the day, I know what shots that I need, and something that I can live without. Like I know what's needed and what's kind of a want for me. Like um, when there isn't a wedding planner, it gets really difficult because I feel like, especially in your discussion in the last live, when there's no planner, it really falls on the photographer and cinematographer to kind of keep the bride and groom on track,
Yeah.
um, to get them from prep, to get them to first look, to get first look from ceremony. Like it falls on the vendor, like the cinematographer and the photographer, more so on the photographer. But it really like makes it difficult to do our job at that point. But there is a element of pre-planning. I do write a shot list out in my head,
Wow, that's
and then I
really
write
good.
it down on my phone so I know like what there is, and it's memorized in my head at this point, like what I absolutely need. And then if I get to the scene and I'm like, and I can see the setup of the room, and then I'll start like ideas will just start floating in my head. And then once I have the camera in my hand, it's just shoot. Like I'm going in there, I'm looking at the frame, and um, I just get this crazy like rush. I don't know how to explain it, but like it just
Well,
I
it's
just
so
get so excited.
no, I know, and the thing is that you've done a lot of behind the scenes work for us,
Hmm.
right? And we're crazy running around trying to like make sure that we're juggling all these things and everybody's happy and everything's attended to, and we're checking this and checking that and checking on the so there's all this stuff that's happening around us. And when you're doing behind the scenes for us, like I just never even noticed that you're filming me per se. And
Hmm.
then there's times that you'll be like, oh, come here, Sonal, let's do this. And there's no way that I would ever think about this shot. And the way that you film it and the way that you direct people, it's really, it's commendable, because I think that it just takes a very special gift and a talent. And I can speak for you firsthand, because you've directed me and you're like, do this, do this. And I'm like, okay, but, and we go through this banter, right? Where I'm like, do I really have to do that? Like, is that like, I just don't know what you're doing with this. But then in the
Yeah.
end, when I see the end product, I'm like, oh, okay, that was really good. It's really crazy how everything gets brought together when you're done like editing this. So do you only do Indian weddings, or tell us about the weddings or events that you've done? Like what kind of experience do you have, because you're so young?
Yeah, so I'd say the majority of weddings I do are Indian weddings, but then I live in North Jersey, and I've been exposed to many other vendors around this area, and I ended up shooting a lot of Italian weddings, partnering with
That's
different
pretty cool.
studios, and yeah, I love Italian weddings. I live very close to the Venetian, so we end up shooting a lot of
You
weddings
told me
there.
that. Yeah, you
Yeah,
told me that.
so being around that environment is it allows you to kind of see how other weddings and ceremonies and planners and venues kind of operate, and then um, to a T, all weddings are pretty much different. Like, Indian weddings are completely different than, um,
Yeah.
like say an Italian wedding or a classical like American wedding. Um, an Indian wedding has a lot more energy. Obviously, we have the barat, then we have um, a
The
ceremony right
ceremony,
before,
yeah,
and
there's
then
so
you
much
go right
happening.
into reception. Like there's so much happening, but like at an American wedding, you start out with prep, and then you have first look, and then you go right into church, and then the energy kind of rises when you get to the reception. But whereas an Indian wedding, you're up and down, and your energy's flowing throughout the day like
I
crazy.
drink a
I love
lot
it.
of Red Bulls during my,
Exactly.
you know this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, there's so much happening, and I think that it's also, I think it's really something special that you have all of this footage, right? Because sometimes you have what, like over 20 hours of footage at certain Indian weddings because there's so much happening, and then you have to edit this down to like a few minutes or 4 or 5 minutes, and I don't even know how you pick and choose different things. Are you doing a lot of editing? What are you doing to stay busy right now with everything that's going on?
Yeah, so right now we're doing a lot of editing because we can. We're home. We're catching up on projects. We're editing. But I am like I've been itching to go outside and get a camera in my
Of
hand. It's
course,
really
of course.
hard, but yesterday the moon looked beautiful, so we just took out the camera, got a tripod, and shot a shot of the moon. Like that was really fun. Me and my dad sat together and we spent a couple hours shooting the moon. So like we're
That's pretty cool.
editing, we're shooting just for fun just to keep it uh keep it
Keep
in
your mind off of what's happening in the world
exactly.
and take some time to appreciate the beauty. I've noticed myself that I've started noticing little things, like even around my mom's house, where I'm like, oh, this
Hmm.
is really pretty, and I'll take out my camera and take a photo or do a little
Yeah,
video. And spending a lot more time with Rain, and doing her videos and being able, it's just, you have a different appreciation when things like this are happening. But
of course.
I'm so happy that I met you, and I really think that the world needs to know about you. And I'm not just saying that. I feel like for someone so young, I just am always so impressed just by how professional you are, and just even hanging out with you. And we've been to the Bahamas, we've been to Italy, we've
Yeah,
been, I don't know where else, Mexico, we've been to
Aruba, Miami,
Aruba.
everywhere.
Oh yeah, I forget about
I
all.
saw the world because of you. Yeah, I'm so
Oh, you're
grateful
so
for those
sweet.
experiences.
You're so sweet. I know we have a lot more traveling for you to do
Yeah,
because we think you're so special and amazing. But I just thank you so much for your time and for doing this and hanging out with me. I hope that anybody that's watching can get to experience your work, go to your Instagram and see some
yeah.
of the things that you're doing. It's just fabulous. And like I said, I'm so happy that I met you. And thank you so much for everything that you've done for all of our behind the scenes, because you make me look like a rock star. And I'm like, okay, I'm like, this is the magic of video.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. And I want to say one thing is I met you back in 2017, and I didn't really know what the wedding industry was in the big picture. I had seen it in Jersey. I had like glimpsed it a little bit in New York. Um, but I really didn't know what aspect of film I wanted to go towards. And I was dabbling in short filmmaking, and then I was dabbling in documentaries, and I didn't know where I wanted to go. And then when I met you in 2017, um, you like blew my mind. I remember doing this wedding
You're so funny.
at American Museum of Natural History, and I was just like shook by like what I just saw, and I was like, oh my God, this exists. Like people are getting
We
married,
try, we
and
try.
I was blown away. And I remember coming home and telling my parents, I was like, you will not like imagine what I just saw today. Like,
Oh,
um,
God, that gives me
and
chills.
no,
Thank you.
seriously,
You're
I
so
don't know what
sweet.
I'd be doing if you didn't inspire and open a window and open a door for me to see like what the future has to hold and what the wedding industry can be. And now I shoot towards that goal, and
Oh, you're so sweet.
I
You're gonna make
appreciate
me
all your
cry.
help.
No, I'm so inspired by you, and I feel like anybody that I meet, there's some personal takeaway that I have, and I just, sometimes I'm like, wow, what was I doing when I was his age, and I was still trying to figure out so many things. And I think it's amazing. And keep up the fabulous work. Your parents should be so proud of you. I think that it's amazing. And I've had the honor of meeting your parents at our rebrand party. And, you know, it's just been amazing. And I love you. And I think that you're great, and just keep up the good work.
I
Thanks so
love you
much for,
too. Give the family my best. Tell
I
Raina I said
will.
hello.
I will. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you for
Bye.
everybody who joined us, and hopefully we answered some of your questions. Bye,
Yes.
Armelle. Stay safe.
You too.
Bye. Bye.